Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Ariana with Fresh Pair of Eyes. How are you?
Hello, Ariana. Is it Ariana or Ariane?
Ariana.
Ariana. Hello. Sorry, I didn't hear the last A. Lovely to meet you, Ariana.
Let's leave to
Lovely
meet
to meet
you too.
you.
Thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
Of
So,
course.
how did you become a part of the project?
So I was so honored and humbled and grateful that out of the blue, Peter Sohn, who is the director and he's the creator and co-writer of this beautiful story, he reached out to me and we set up a Zoom meeting, and in the Zoom meeting there was also Peter's partner producer Denise Ream and a few other people. I was just so amazed. I thought I'm on cloud nine. Not sure who else was there on this Zoom meeting, but he had me go through the entire script of all of the lines of Cinder. And shortly after, I found out I had the part, and I was just so grateful.
You've done voice work before on top of, I guess you would say, in-person acting. What do you like about it?
Ah, what I love about voice work is that, as with any art, you're walking a tightrope constantly. So, for instance, with acting, you're walking a tightrope physically. That if you move too much, it's weird. If you don't move enough, you look like a robot. It's a tightrope emotionally. If you give too much, it's one thing. If you don't give too much, if you don't give enough, and then there's your voice, it's your vocal, it's your emotional, it's everything. With work, really the only tightrope you're walking is that vocal tightrope, and of course your heart and emotion that you put behind it. So the fact that the physical part is taken out and you get to be as big and silly and wacky as you want, it's a lot of fun.
Yes. But usually with in-person acting, you're kind of responding to what the other person is doing vocally and physically. But with a lot of voice work, it's just you. How do you kind of navigate that? Like it's great to not have to kind of worry about the physical element and be as big as you would like, but you also don't really know how the person that you're talking to on screen is actually reacting.
Absolutely, you're so right. Are you a theater actress? Are
No,
you also
that's
an
like the
actress?
biggest
No. Wow. Okay, because you so got that. Because I've been doing theater, and that's exactly it. That you act off of people, and of course for film as well. Um, so this speaks to the brilliance of Peter Sohn for the way that he was able to orchestrate. Because when we walk into the vocal booth, I walked in alone. I'm sure a lot of the other actors came in alone, but that he knows exactly what he's looking for and where the energy and the emotions of other actors doing these other lines are going to be. So he orchestrated it's all him. But with film acting too, sometimes as film actors, you're acting to a little dot on the
Mhm.
left of the camera as opposed to the other person. So it's a little bit similar to voiceover work, whereas theater is not. Theater is exactly what you said. That's why I thought you were a theater actress.
Oh, I appreciate that. The biggest compliment ever. I do watch a lot of theater and stuff.
Oh, lovely.
But I feel like that's also when you're physically acting. A lot of times now they'll be like, "Oh, I'm having a FaceTime call or even a call on the phone." And it's like you're not actually having this call on the phone. So it's kind of similar to voice acting in that sense. But you're about
Right.
to have the London premiere today and you've seen the finished project. What was it like? And to also kind of see an animated version of yourself?
God, it was so incredible because when I was voicing it, as they sometimes do when you're a voiceover actor, they show you a little drawing of the character you're playing so that you kind of could voice for this character. And so the drawing was, yeah, Cinder is beautiful. She's round, and which I love. My mom is round and stout, which I just love big women because I'm so crazy about my mom who passed away. But you're just kind of looking at it and okay. And it wasn't until I saw it that I saw what a feat of masterful technology this was, because this character isn't just, in a drawing is not emitting light. These characters, like the fire characters, light is coming out of them, actual light, and they're moving constantly. And they, when they come near another character, like a water character, their light reflects off of the water character, and the water character is just incredible to be able to create. So it was amazing. And also the music was so incredible. It melted me.
Yeah.
It was an experience, and it's an experience made for the big screen. So I hope people see it in the theaters.
Yes. It's you mentioned your mom, and in the movie, the Flame family, as you could call them, are a family of immigrants. They immigrant to Element City.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
also immigrated to LA. How did you kind of connect that with your character of somewhat being a fish out of water and acclimating, but also keeping parts of your culture? What was that kind of like to navigate and relate to?
Yeah, it's so interesting you say that. It's a great question, because I have a feeling that we immigrants, when we have to leave the country that we live in and go to a host country, we keep our culture, because our culture is our only connection to our country. Whereas the people living in that country have already moved on. 20 years later, they've moved on. They're different, but we remain very much connected. And with these fire people, they left Fireland because there was a huge storm that came, and so Bernie and Cinder had to leave to create a better life for their only daughter Ember. But they left with the blue flame, and the blue flame is their. It's not only what they believe spiritually, and the I think what they worship, but it's also a connection to their Fireland and the people of Fireland. And
It's amazing how with animated films, I feel like sometimes they do it better than things that are for adult things, how you can talk about topical issues and it can have this bigger meaning and it's really relatable and diverse. And even Ember, how she wants to kind of do her own path, but like her parents, like this restaurant is the gift, and kind of the pressure of kind of navigating like your own story, especially being first generation um member of this town, is definitely very interesting. You had mentioned kind of that you love the music and kind of seeing this entire world and how they reacted. What was probably one of your favorite elements of the movie, no pun intended, of the world?
Thank you. There were so many puns in the movies. um, one of the so yes, the music was one of my favorite elements, I have to say, and the visual beauty of what they had created. Um, because it felt like those sound meditations that they call them, sound baths, that
Yeah.
the music felt like this incredible sound journey. But then, instead of closing your eyes to just listen to it, you open your eyes and you see these amazing, gorgeous artwork that Pixar has, the wizards of Pixar have created. That it just blew me away.
Yes. Which element do you think you would relate to as yourself? Because there's four different elements. Which one is just like, oh yeah, that's me?
Yeah, so there's fire, there's water, there's air, and earth. Um, I have to say, I related so much to Cinder and to Ember, and they're both fire elements. As
Mhm.
much as I'd love to be like Gale, the air element, the toot toot, I loved her, but I related to the fire element because, there's something about us children of immigrants, and this um, came off from Ember, that Ember is so aware of the sacrifices that her parents had to make to give her a better life. And so there's a weight to that. There's a bit of guilt, and it's a weight we carry. I really related to that.
Yes. Pixar
And
movies.
also that,
Oh,
go
sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. No,
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 go
no,
ahead.
you go.
Oh,
Okay.
I was
I,
going to say Pixar movies are so iconic. What's kind of one of your favorites?
I loved Soul so much. I couldn't stop crying watching it. Loved Soul. I loved Inside Out. You know, in Up, the character of the little boy is the physical creation, the physical representation of Peter Sohn, the
Oh,
director of Elemental.
that's so cool. What do you hope people take away from this movie?
That accepting people that are different from us in whatever way, different nationality, different religion, different political views, that when you accept them enough to be like, oh, that's so interesting. What do you think about this? Connecting to them makes us better people. So it's that our differences create an alchemy that makes both parties better. So don't be afraid of those that are different than you and judge them. Be open and curious,
Yeah.
and you'll learn so much more about yourself.
Yes, for sure. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. This was amazing. I hope to talk to you about future projects when you're voice acting and physically acting as well.
Thank you so much, Ariana. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.